Hello, this is Pastor Scott Cruz with the Deeper Rock. I want to invite you to church on Sunday, West Acres Cinema, 10 a.m. this Sunday and every Sunday. Hope to see you there. Today our reading is Psalms chapter 70, the whole thing. It's a whopping 6 verses long, so I don't want to put you out. But the verse that we're going to zero in on here today is verse 5. But as for me, I am poor and needy. Please hurry to my aid, Lord. You are my helper and my Savior. I want to encourage you that you are not as good as you think you are. There are so many times when I am the least of these. And when I view myself that way, because it's totally the truth, the fact is that I need God's grace. I need His forgiveness. I'm weak and needy, just like the psalmist here is saying that he is. By the grace of God go I. I've shared this story before other places, but I'm going to share it again here. An important moment in my life, in my ministry, I was doing a lot of jail ministry, and I was visiting this guy in just me and him, and he had, I was going to tell you, he had molested his kids, and he was crying, and he was weeping, and he felt so guilty about what he had done. And as I sat across from that table that day, I thought, Lord, I've never been tempted to do that. How do I know how strong I would be if that was my temptation? These guys, and it was the most disgusting sin I could ever fathom. And most horrible thing that you could ever do to somebody. But that day, at about 23 years old, I looked across the table, and I had such an impression of, by the grace of God go I. Lord, I'm not that much stronger than this guy. I just haven't had to wrestle with the same temptations that he does. I am the least of these. I need salvation. I need grace. And in so many ways, I'm the least of these. And when we see ourselves that way, something happens. You get more humble. You get more gracious. All of a sudden, that person in that soup line, or that person that you're helping or loving, you treat them with more respect because you realize, you know what? The ground is level at the foot of the cross. I'm not better than you. And when that is really in your heart, you treat people different, and they sense it. You look them in the eye, you talk to them, you give a level of respect that you otherwise wouldn't have. And, I've been the least of these, and people have treated me poorly. I remember I used to go to this meeting, and there's a Bible college president, this is a bunch of years ago, who had come to this same meeting. We'd have to sit, and I sat next to him like a few years in a row. It was an annual meeting. And he would not talk to me, and he would not shake my hand, and because I was just a peon youth pastor, And then he came to the church years later that at another church I was at, and all of a sudden now he still wouldn't talk to me because I wasn't the senior pastor. But other people, even if I was a peon, they talk to me. I want to be the kind of guy who loves the least of these, because that's what my Jesus did. That's what he said I should do. And I want to be very careful in how I treat people. And so I just want to remind you today to treat everybody with respect. And if you see yourself as taking the smallest seat at the table, it's going to be much easier to do that. May the Lord richly bless you. I hope to see you in church on Sunday.